Hey, this is Anthony at RevZilla. You watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Alpinestars SP-2 V2 glove, available at RevZilla.com. SP-2 V2. You can make that into a little jingle. Alpinestars, the naming's getting clunky, but I'm not mad at you. New for the spring of 18, this is the second version of the SP-2 glove. This is the first version of the SP-2 glove. This was more sport touring, muted, 3-season warm weather. You know, rocket on the street, rocket commuting, it doesn't get you to the track. This version is going to be 2-season hot weather with a tremendously better ventilation scheme inclusive of the knuckle. This version is a little bit more in-your-face sporty. This version has tremendously more leather, and it has a ton of other creature comforts that make this just generally a better glove, even though they both carry that CE rating. Touch-tech finger, expansion of leather. The only big gripe, and I'm going to break this full glove down, the only big gripe I have on the new SP-2 V2, because I don't expect a glove to be around, that's coming in the $140, $150 mark, I don't expect it to get me a track. But what I loved about the previous version is that it had this DFS, hard part slider laterally and on the palm right there, and they ditched it for the new version, even though they made a ton of upgrades on the new version, and they lowered the price from around the $150 mark down to the $140 mark. And again, this is your black, white, red, classic A-Stars colors. Ultimately, it has a multitude of other colors as well. Now, quick note on fitment. This is a comfortable glove. It is more of a race fitment. I am wearing a size extra large. I consistently wear a size XL in Alpinestars. I'll tell you, I'm a large in Icon. I'm a large in some other brands that are more American cut. This fits more Euro, but the size chart's spot on. So use a size chart. We'll ship free over 39 bucks. Also, staying true to our conversation about changes on this glove, notice mid-digitally, you have additional accordion stretch. You have accordion stretch on the thumb. It did not exist previously. What you also have on this glove is finally a wrist adjuster, which is a very important feature of keeping this glove on your hand. If you go down, they didn't have it. They had a flap on their original one. They did not have the adjuster. So they've added the adjuster, and you'll actually see here too that this cuff is now not only full leather where it was synthetic on the previous version. Kudos to you for A-Stars coming back with your cowhide versus using a synthetic, but they also shortened it and made it less cumbersome. They didn't need it to be the size of a race gauntlet because remember, while in Europe you might be rocking this with a race suit, riding it on the street, Alpinestars is saying if you want to get to the track, your minimum investment to get to the track is going up to something like the SP or the SP Air, ultimately, which takes that next leap up in function and technicality. Now, keep in mind, I love it if you click our logo, wherever that logo is, subscribe to us. RevZilla on our YouTube channel, leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback on the SP-2 V2. You can yell and rant about the naming convention. That's fine. But I do like that you can quickly look at it and say, this is the second version, the 2018 version of the SP-2. That's why it's the V2. They could have just added to 2018. Now, if I dive into the glove, let's talk nuance here. Notice, we talked about the major perf scheme here that's going to flow more air. Ultimately, the cuff has been refined, and it's more natural cowhide versus synthetic, which is a big plus. It looks way cooler than the previous version, and when you get into that knuckle, you're going to see that GPX knuckle, which is vented coming in, still lives on a second panel, so it moves with you, and we already talked about the accordion stretch panels here. They've added on your index, your middle, as well as your pinky, and you get the 3rd and 4th finger bridge, which helps in a low side crash. Now, I'm about to ditch this guy, but ultimately, if we look at the last thing you need to keep in mind about the construction here is these two are actually reflective. The previous version did not have a ton of reflective on it, and now they're giving you the ability to stay safer riding at night, knowing summertime, commuting to work, on a sport bike, yeah, I'm looking right at you. This is going to keep you a little bit better, give you a better chance of being seen by being reflective. Now, quickly, when we roll it over, you're going to see the thing I want to call out here. I lied. I was going to ditch this glove. We've already talked about the DFS slider, but one of the things I liked and don't like about this glove is the fact that I like the new one that captures the seam all the way up. What I don't like is that they went all Clarino and the previous version had leather there. I'd like to see that go leather all the way up. But ultimately, I don't really have that much of an issue. This is a nice step forward. Now, I'm going to ditch the old guy. Let's get into some of the other nuance here in the palm. Goat skin. Tactile response, abrasion resistant. We see goat everywhere in palms. It's great stuff. Ultimately, it gives you better feel than if it was straight cowhide. If we look at the index finger, now we have touch tech at index and touch tech at thumb. The previous version only had touch tech at index, meaning you couldn't pinch zoom on an Android or iPhone. Now, if you have a multi-touch device, you can have full functionality. Nice pre-curve to it, doesn't bug me. We see since 2014, the previous version of this glove, now you have the ability to have these gloves with additional stretch here, giving you more chance to move around and get to that turn signal without, again, having that bunching. They've updated your control patch area. Here is one thing I don't like about this glove, though. This Clarino panel needs to come over another 1.5 inches. And if it does that, it captures this seam, this seam, this seam, and that termination point. If I have an off and I put my hands down, it's going to burst right there. Alpinestars, just let me draw a little dotted line and just refine it on the fly. I know you can do it. Actually, you probably can't do it. But that is something you should improve next time. So again, we look at this palm. Give me my DFS back. It's okay that you don't have it, but it was nicer when it was that hard part. Give me full leather on the outseam, and then carry it over there. Even if that added an additional $10 and got you back to that original 150 mark from the first version, I would then be ranting about this glove versus saying, I really, really dig it, but here's how I think you could improve it. Now, if we look at it all in, remember, 2-season hot weather. With a more European cut, but the size chart should be just fine. It'll vent better, it's more aggressive, it's more classic race. Alpinestar, certainly a step forward for 2018, and they've given you the ability to save an extra $10. Remember, this step up as well, something like the SP, which is the first glove in the Alpinestars lineup that you can stretch into a track day. I would not take this to the track. It just doesn't have the requisite coverage. The next step in your journey is click the info button, your desktop, your mobile device. Visit the product detail page at RevZilla.com. Read other rider reviews. You shouldn't just take my word for it. As always, we'll ship free over $38. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Stay up to date with our opinion, the latest and greatest in the motor universe. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.